there's joy in unity.
Hello and welcome to Sharing Our Cultures. And this is the place where you get to meet remarkable people who are doing amazing work in the province of Newfoundland, Labrador. Joining me today is Aisha Al-Gaya, and she's an investigative journalist, and she'll be telling us some of the stories that she has investigated. And welcome back to Sharing Our Cultures. And joining me in conversation today is Aisha El-Gaya. And she is a candidate at Folklore Memorial University, but she's also an investigative journalist. Welcome to Sharing Our Cultures,
You're
Aisha.
welcome, and thank you for having me today.
Oh, I'm so glad to have you today. And
Me
thank you
too.
so much for agreeing to come and have a time of conversation together.
Yeah, I love what all you do and your broadcast and the sharing culture. That is amazing for all newcomers.
Okay, great. Now, can you tell me where you lived before coming to Newfoundland?
Actually, I am originally from Egypt. I was born and raised in Cairo, the capital city. It's crowded and full of culture and event and the historical city too. I graduated in Egypt, and after that, maybe my age 22, I moved to Kuwait. Kuwait is a small country, one of Gulf countries. It is small, but it's full of opportunity because it's a rich country for oil and diversity. It was best for me to meet for first time different people from different culture and background. That's helped me to start my career as a journalist in Kuwait. I lived in Kuwait 23 years also before I moved here in Newfoundland. It's like my first stage or my first journey, around 22 years in Egypt and the second 23 years in Kuwait, and now in my third journey.
Okay, maybe it'll be another 23 years.
I hope or more.
Okay, and more. That's true. We wouldn't want you to move anywhere else, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're here to stay.
I hope that.
Yeah, all right. So why did you come to Newfoundland then?
Actually, this is a long story. My connection with Newfoundland started 10 years ago. When I started to search about university for my older son, I hoped to send him for international education. I started to compare between countries, so I choose Canada. After that, the second step is choose the place and the province. I need a Orbital University, and I found Newfoundland is the best for two reasons. First, there are Memorial University at that time was affordable with fees. The second, about the place and the safety. Most reviews in Canada think about Newfoundland is very friendly environment, and the Newfoundlander is very friendly. And that's what any parents wanted when they send their kids outside. So this is my first connection with Newfoundland. After that, I send my second son too. They visit me every year in Kuwait or Egypt, but I wanted to visit them. So I applied for visa application, and for the first time was refused, and the second time was refused. For third time I refused, and I went immediately to apply for immigration application, and they accepted me. And yeah, and that's weird. After 5 months, I became permanent resident in Canada, so I take the decision to move to Canada. My first plan in Canada to stay in Mississauga, actually, because there are a big newcomers community, especially who speak Arabic and who came from Gulf countries, so we will be in the same page. And also, I thought at that time I will find a lot of opportunity in my career as a journalist in Arabic. I visited my son here in St. John's in 2019, in the end of November. I planned to stay short time with them. But what happened changed everything, because that was months before pandemic and the corona. And the whole world changed. So I found St. John's is the best place. Quiet, less revolution, so you can be safety. So I stayed in St. John's for 2 years through pandemic. And in that time, I saw a lot of visual culture to involve and started my relation with Newfoundland and Newfoundlander, to improve my English, to know about the community, to involve until virtually in the community. This is my relation with Newfoundland.
Okay. Yeah, so you mentioned that you were a journalist. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit about your profession before
Yeah.
you came to Newfoundland.
I started my career in Kuwait, and I worked for, as I said, 23 years in Kuwait. I covered most of news. I worked in printing journalism, and I switched with digital and multimedia journalism. I focus in education issue, women issue, and human rights, and investigative stories. Also, I had, I don't say hundreds of stories and hundreds of interviews, but there are some things that make difference inside me and the other. That's what is remember all the time. One of these stories in Kuwait about human trafficking. I wrote this story about a group of nurses came from India to Kuwait with the government contract. But for some corruption, the contract stopped, and they stuck for 2 years without jobs, without salary, without anything. And they didn't can return for their country, and everything is stuck with them. I worked in this story for 1 year to collect all evidence to support him. And I published it in the one of the most popular newspaper in Kuwait, Al Qabas. And after I published it, the government moved to investigate that in Kuwait and solve the problem. So after 1 year of hard working, when you find something, resolve and result, that return. But that's not happened with every story. Because another story is human rights in Kuwait also. There are group for Kuwait called Bidun. Bidun that stateless or without citizenship. Because most of Gulf countries established in last 70 years only when oil is discovering, was discovering in these countries. So these people in the borders in Kuwait, and for some reason, they didn't apply for legal paper at that time. Now there are 3 generations for Bidun in Kuwait without any legal paper in bad situation. Although there are aids from government or kind equity people, but still their situation, they can't travel, they can't issue any certificate. This stories take for me 2 years to work in it. The last one, I work in it in Kuwait and in St. John's too, this while pandemic time. I collaborate with around 600 investigative journalists around the world. This called the Banadora paper with ICIG, this global organization for investigative journalism. We digging and investigative follow the money laundering or where people hide their money in offshore island to discover the corruption. I did good story in my record, but I published it without my name for my security. Yeah, this is a hard journey for me as investigative journalist when I take decision here after that in St. John's to switch to positive story, something different, something give me self-care.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. But I mean,
Yes.
those stories need to be told, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
everyone have a story, and we need to tell this his story or her story.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. So why at the beginning did you choose the type of stories you were telling? Like you were telling human rights stories, you were telling, like, why did you choose those ones at the beginning? Now you're switching to positive ones, but
Yeah.
at that time, what motivated you to start
In
doing
that
those?
time, I thought I can't change the world. And actually, I appreciate all my colleagues who work in investigative journalism and they still believe in that. And actually, I switched to find solution journalism. That's kind of journalism to focus in positive, in solution. Yeah, maybe sometimes I can return for hard stories, but it's like for I need new journey, something give me positive. So to switch for positive story, especially here in St. John's, find some story from my eyes, I land as newcomer. I think it was interested to write about that too, or focus on newcomers' stories.
Okay. So before you came to Newfoundland and you were writing about those, how did you make connections? Because you had global investigators, right?
Yes,
About
yes.
600 or so.
Yeah.
How did you make those connections?
Actually, I think in Middle East, they are rich with connection with all global organization.
Okay.
Yeah, I work with cross-border with a lot of investigative journalism organization around the world. I wrote in Arabic and after that translate. And by the way, in the beginning, my sons, because their education English from day one, first year, so always they helped me in translate for long of my stories. And they are editor helping me in that. But network is important in journalism, in investigative journalism in general. And I think Middle East is environment rich for topic to investigate in it or in Asia. So there are a lot of courses, a lot of conference helped me to connect, to work with this global organization.
Okay. So once you were in those conferences, was networking? So
yes,
you get
and
to
that's
find
what's
out.
important in
Okay.
our work. Is.
Okay.
And actually, as a journalist, we care for our skills more than the language. That means we can collaborate with any journalist around the world because our aim is the fact, our aim how to reach for the truth and the facts. And we can find some way to communicate together.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you communicate, then you communicate in the various languages and then you get someone to translate?
No, I communicate in English. I think
English?
my English, yeah, in journalism, it's okay because still we use in English, as we say, white language. It's not academic language. So, yeah, I improve my English to communicate in it. That's okay, yeah.
Okay. But you also write in Arabic as well?
I write the first version in Arabic, and when published both in Arabic and English. So in every organization, there are editor in English helped me to fix or edit all my stories in English and published it.
Okay. Oh my goodness, you are very talented in being
No,
able to
thank
do
you so
doing the
much.
work you do, and we feel the passion in your heart when you do the stories. And
Yes.
we're going to hear a bit more about that in
Yeah.
the second half of our conversation together.
Yes.
So we'll let everyone know what you've been working on and what you're doing. So
great.
thank you for this part, and
Yeah.
we're going to just take a short break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about all your research, your work, your time that you're spending with other women in helping them with their own cultural home and their own immigrant experience coming to Newfoundland
Yeah,
Labrador.
perfect. My pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank
okay then. And sharing our cultures, we'll be right back.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better. At Rogers TV, we know our community thrives because of the incredible people who support it. Today, we want to extend a heartfelt thank you to all our amazing volunteers. Your hard work, dedication, and passion make our productions possible, bringing local stories and events to life for everyone to enjoy. Whether you're behind the camera, in the control room, or helping at events, your contributions are invaluable.
You're watching Rogers TV St. John's.
And welcome back to Sharing Our Cultures and my conversation with the lovely Aisha. And she's going to talk about her passion in what she's working on now. So you are now in St. John's, and
Yeah.
from what you've told me, you're enjoying it. It's a nice, quiet place. Your
Yes.
son's done his study here.
Yes.
And you brought with you your skills, your
Yeah.
career, your profession as an investigative journalist. So
Yeah.
tell me what you've been doing in St. John's now.
Yeah, as I said, after I did my investigative stories, I try to focus on something positive in stories here, and I found we need to focus on newcomer stories. Everyone have a story, need to tell us about it. So I wrote my lovely story about newcomers who came and brought with them their culture, their decoration. Some of them designed one room for this culture, same their homeland, and maybe one wall or some corner. And when I asked them why do that, they told me self-care, for happiness, to feel their roots, to feel their home land again. I love that story, and I published it in CBC. And actually, this story was important and key point in my life, because it's like short switch in my life between journalism to folklore. Because when I wrote this story, I don't understand why is this folklore or why is this culture, this decoration important for some of newcomer. So I come more digging about that. And actually this is a story nominated for the final finalist list 2023 for East Regional in journalism competition in Canada.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, in 2023, but it's like sign to go digging.
Yeah, right.
To focus of newcomers and their culture, heritage, folklore. Yes.
Okay. So you then became the sort of like a freelance journalist, and you were doing stories for CBC.
Yes. Yeah. Most of them positive stories, and they focus in newcomers' story.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was the other newcomer story that you
One of them, it's about Syrian girl moved to St. John's without know any word in English. And after 4 years, she get, or maybe 5 years, she got scholarship to study nursing at MAN. This is an inspired story. And another story for dentist who moved from Toronto to live in Maristown and establish his work there. And another for Arabian or international food store who bring international food for newcomers, and how newcomers were very happy to meet their food. At that time, I found really food is not just for eating. Food something bigger and in depth more that. It's like identity we need, something make us happy. Yeah.
All right. So by doing these stories, then you were interested in folklore.
Yes.
And so what did you do then next?
Actually, in that time, I didn't figure that's folklore. So I went to Atman to know if that folklore or no. So I registered in non-degree courses to study writing English, and second course is folklore, because I want to discover what is this folklore, and I found not just folklore. The previous my previous knowledge about folklore, it's related for carnivals, special celebration, festivals, when we wear traditional clothing or eat traditional food, and that's right. But it's not just folklore. Folklore is something more than that. Folklore is identity. Folklore is our roots. Folklore is not history, but related for our history. Folklore is about what we live now, what we practice every day, and they lead us for our future. So I love that, discovering. So I applied for, and at that time I didn't sure they will accept me for study master folklore at Memorial, and they accepted me. I got a scholarship for Color Woman, and I think I am the only student from Newfoundland that is so interested to focus on immigrants here, newcomers, culture, and the heritage. And I am now in my last stage in my thesis.
Okay. Oh, well, congratulations for getting the scholarship.
Yes,
that's great, yeah.
Yeah.
Because not many people were able to get that, but you did. So that's great. So they must have realized that your work was valuable and very important as a research.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So the story that you're working on for your research for folklore, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, actually in my thesis and my whole research related for one woman, one family, Jamila. Jamila from Ethiopia, from Harara city in Ethiopia. I met Jamila through the pandemic in bus station, and invite me to her house. And from first step, I found the traditional coffee smell everywhere. Invite me for her room, called that coffee room. And this room is like moved to Ethiopia. Everything from Ethiopia. The beautiful Harara basket, basket in Africa, fantastic and colorful. It's like sun color and the earth color waves together. And the cushion laid in the floor. Everything related for her city and her traditional to prepare coffee, ritual Ethiopian coffee from green beans, toasted and grain until boiling it in the clay pot. Everything was fascinated So I focus about this research actually, and my main question, why Jamila did and still does that. What is the purpose for that and what is her goal? In academic, we say she keep her heritage, she keep her identity, she gathering her family. But for her, real life, for her love, for her happiness, for her return again for her roots. For her, she wanted to keep her children very tied and connect with their culture from their come. Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, it is. In fact, as you're explaining that, I can actually visualize this room.
Yes,
Because I do
yes.
know a little bit about how they do make coffee.
Maybe one day I should to invite
Oh,
you,
yeah, okay.
ask Jamila to invite you. And by
Yeah.
the way, Jamila,
Yeah.
also they have amazing culture restaurant, the Ethiopian cuisine.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's not only creating a home within her home, because it's like she brought her home from her original home.
Yeah, for that, my sister tried to find this bridge because Jamila built the bridge between homeland and new country to make balance, to keep his heritage and shape or reshape identity for her kids or her children here in St. John's. Yeah.
So the children are getting both something traditional from home, from the mother's culture, but
Yes.
also from the Canadian culture as well.
Yes,
But,
but they made them proud from
Yes.
their while they are now called themselves Ethiopian Canadians, they have both culture, Ethiopian or Harar especially, and Canadian culture, which is great.
It
so
is.
yeah,
Yeah, it is. It is. So what would you, now you're thinking about all these stories of immigrants here, what would you advise the immigrants, newcomers, when they're here? How can they better adapt and keep their own culture as well at the same
Yes.
time?
To be honest, if you asked me this question before I met Jamila, I will say they should to learn English quickly. They should to be good in your pronunciation. They got to be formal in Canadian way, as they everywhere say. But after I meet Jamila, I say they should proud for their roots, from where come. They come, they first mean to share culture, not melt in another culture. Respect other culture, but bring your culture with you. Bring your clothing, your food, your culture. Be proud and present it and sharing. Engaged, not melt. Keep proud from your come. You come from historical place, you come from rich place, so bring all your skills, all what you have to share here. It's like you say, sharing a culture. That's what every newcomer be proud and share, not melt for another culture. Yeah, respect other culture, learn from other culture, but keep his personality, keep his identity.
Right, because that identity is important. Because
Yes,
that's what,
actually, this keep his identity, help him to make balance, to be the best version from himself.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So this research you're working on and your folklore, your master's in folklore, when are you going to finish that and what are you going to do?
Yeah, some people asked me this question. I will be switched from journalism to folklore or something. I think folklore helped me to give me another lens, another view, dimension. I can help me. I plan to return in writing and journalism, but I think it's different way. I think I have another tools when I tell stories. I will look in depth more through what I learned from folklore. I think I will write more beautiful stories as I imagine what I get in these courses.
Right, which is great because now you're using the story of Jamila to learn that, to enrich your own journalism and your writing.
Yes. And I think journalism now changed with social media and the website and the platform and the broadcast. Journalism now connect with folklore and with lifestyle, with between fact and the knowledge. So I think what I will do in future to collect all these skills and what I learn, and especially from Jamila. I am sure there are tens of Jamila here in St. John and Newfoundland. I will be so happy to record their stories and to show their culture, their pride, and learn from them.
Right. So it's the learning is both ways. You are learning from them, and they're learning from you, and you're giving them.
I learned a lot from Jamila. And when I meet any newcomer or immigrants on Newfoundland, I will keep to learn from them. That is good when I I wanted to write a story about anyone I know. They have a lot of issue, and I go to him to learn, to tell a story, but in first to learn from him.
That aspect of listening
Yes.
and then writing
Yeah.
is so important.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Well, this has been a great conversation with
Thank
you.
you
I've
so
really
much.
enjoyed
Thank
it.
you.
And
Thank you.
thank you so much for all you've shared. And I'm sure you're making, and of course, when you finish your program
Yeah.
in folklore and you start writing again, we'll see the improvement. We'll see
Yes.
you're more professional. You'd see it be more in-depth. And we really look forward to that. And I really want to congratulate you on all what you've accomplished throughout your time prior to coming to St. John's and in St. John's as well. Congratulations.
yeah.
We're so proud of you too.
Thank you so much. I hope you're ready to complete everything in good way. It's a lovely journey, especially when it changes between many advantages and adventure. Leave Egypt, leave Kuwait, and they come to St. John's, switch from journalism to folklore. It's like every time I try to search about something new, I think that is a good way to experience new issue in our life.
Yeah. I agree with you. And
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank
I
you
really
so much for
appreciate
having me
you being here today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
And Sharing Our Cultures will be right back. Thanks to Aisha and to you for watching. Join us again next time to meet some more amazing individuals who are making a difference in their communities.
You and me come together right now for all the world to see. Come together. You and me come together right now. There's joy in unity. Come together.